Hello, friends, and welcome back to another action-packed episode of the Nintengems podcast, the Nintendo podcast where we talk about games both new and old. I am one half of today's co-host, Braydon, and across from me, I have the ever-lovely
other half of co-host, Connor. What's up?
Hey, Connor, how you been doing these past couple months?
I tell you what, just awesome.
I'm so glad.
Way cool.
And we played so many good games.
Many good games. How have you been?
I'm good too. I made it through COVID and the holiday season in retail, and
Same.
so back for more Nintendo goodness.
Absolutely.
And this episode, we're kind of softballing it a little bit. We're coming at you with a little bit easier of an episode for us, but it's not for no reason. There have been some personal achievements in this game that we've accomplished recently, and kind of the game's not lifespan, but
that's not a bad term to use. It's well, I guess it's not dead yet.
Right.
Maybe it is. Its promotional period almost has come to a close, I guess, if anything. That's tough.
But yeah, we're going to talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the Nintendo Bible in a video game.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, what we're trying to say is that the game is officially now 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It just hit its third anniversary back in December, and just around then, we got our last bit of content for it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, we're not getting any more DLC. I don't think we're getting any more additional spirits, even on guest spirits from new games or anything, which was a thing for a while.
Yeah, they'd have lots of cross promotions between new release games and stuff, but.
They are, and no more balance patches, I don't think, either. I think it's for all intents and purposes, this is the final state of the game. They are still updating it with, weekly, themed online tourneys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's still, official, professional fighting game tournament tourneys. The game is still active, but as far as, improvements and additions to the game go, it's, I think it has reached its ultimate iteration, as it were.
Wow. Well, and we were hyped for this game from day one. I have vivid memories of watching the Video Game Awards until midnight on December 9th of 2018, and we went to GameStop and got our Smash Ultimate copies, and yeah, it was a big deal for us. We've played all the Smash Bros. Games up until this one, and
Smash Bros. Has always been a big deal for us.
Yes.
The N64 being our first Nintendo console, Smash was one of our first games for that. It's one of the earliest games I remember playing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously just such a great natural introduction to everything Nintendo at such an early age. Just all Nintendo things packed into one game. I remember we were a little too young for Melee, but we went to the midnight release for both Brawl for the Wii, and I went to the midnight release for the Wii U version as well.
I went for the 3DS version,
okay.
Which didn't they release separately, I think?
They did. They were staggered a little bit. Yeah, and then we did the midnight release for this one. And we watched the Game Awards across the street at a coffee shop across the street from the GameStop that we got it from.
Yep.
Watched the Joker reveal at the Game Awards.
That's right.
Because they revealed they revealed that they were doing DLC
Uh-huh.
the night that the game came out, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Just solidifying that the game would have an extended life past release.
Mm-hmm.
Because the road leading up to Ultimate was also really interesting as well. As far as content leaks all the way up to release, rumors, just precedents that were set from other releases that may or may not have been followed all the way.
Mm-hmm.
A very interesting, tumultuous period, I would say, in a lot of ways. With the Grinch leak.
That's right.
Which is momentous to me because I was pretty all in for it.
Who did they promise that didn't make it? Do you recall?
A lot. I do kind of want to go into the Grinch leak.
Okay.
At some point,
mm-hmm.
just because I think it was compelling and it was interesting. But yeah, it's just interesting the planning period for this subsequent 3 years since its release, because it's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it has every character and most content from all the other Super Smash Bros. Games up to this point packed into one game, plus new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we didn't really know for certain that we were going to get DLC and content updates along the way.
For sure.
And then they announced the Fighters Pass the night that the game was released. That promised content up through February of 2020.
Yep.
And then fast forward to February of 2020, and the final DLC character is released, and then they announce another Fighters Pass.
Yeah, buddy.
Going up until like 2022 or something, obviously, or something like that. I don't remember the exact date, but it extended it so much more. And then there was, like, I wonder if they planned the second Fighter Pass from the beginning, because
You think there's a chance they didn't?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Wow.
I knew that they knew. There's no way that they didn't know that this game would be a huge success, obviously, but just the way that the development of the DLC has also progressed, like, you can tell, and they are pretty transparent about the process of, like, they're developing each new DLC character kind of like consecutively,
right?
Like
right.
as they are released.
Yes,
they're like, we use this like months long span working on this character. Obviously, not like right before they were released. Not up until like the day they were released, but the development was clearly planned consecutively in chunks, because like COVID even like delayed the release of some characters because like they had to halt some development and promo and stuff. So it just makes me. I would venture to say that it's possible that they did not plan the second Fighters Pass, at least from the beginning of development, but from like release even. I don't know. And the second Fighters Pass had like the biggest surprises.
Yeah, it did.
And the biggest fan service of all.
Yeah. Ultimate really has come to be just a huge celebration of gaming. And gaming as a whole. Yeah,
gaming as a medium, I guess. I don't know. It's it's sort of become analogous to like the Marvel cinematic universe, in that like it's mostly just kind of like franchise fan servicey. At least on the surface, like it's just like characters from everything and everywhere, and like it's kind of like a surface level interpretation.
Right. They do the coolest things that each of the characters does.
The most iconic things that the character is known for is like all they do in Smash. And so it's like, it is a little surface level, but it is still like a very large celebration. And the intricacies and idiosyncrasies to all the character additions, especially like when each new character drops and we have like Sakurai going over their entire moveset and everything, explaining why they have each of these specific moves. Every move in like a character's moveset is inspired from something specific from their game.
Right.
You know, like he didn't make any of it up like off the top of his head, or at least very rarely did he have to. But when you get into the minutia, there is a lot of like very intentional honoring of like specific games and like their mechanics even and stuff.
Oh yeah. Minecraft Steve. I mean, we never quite got an episode out on him. We managed to cover some character releases like individually. So if you're interested in those, I think we covered like Pyra and Mithra. We could Sephiroth, Banjo-Kazooie at one point, I think. We didn't talk about Steve and his moveset that Sakurai interpreted for him.
Yeah,
is
ridiculous.
Beyond creative, it's like, and really breaks the mold of what we thought Smash could
big time
function like.
And Kazuya almost maybe not more so, but I don't know, just like in a different way, pushing Smash in a different direction as a fighting game, or like the potential that it has, and simultaneously like incorporating key core fighting game mechanics, like honoring that whole genre in a really interesting way. But so the road to Ultimate's release was, I've always been a heavily involved in the speculation like from like the fan base on what's going to be in the new Smash.
Right.
I'm always, when there's a new Smash game coming out, I can't stay away from like forums and stuff and just like watching people pitch everything, throw their evidence out for why it could be or why it couldn't be, watch them call each other idiots for believing that something could or could not be in, and then Sakurai just shattering everything, breaking all the rules, and defying expectations.
Yes. It absolutely becomes conspiratorial. Yeah. Like, you see something, does this mean this character's going to get in?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I think at E3, the first E3 2018, when we got the announcement, we got a teaser into the spring 2018 that was revealed. We got a new Smash game coming out for the Switch, and the Inklings are going to be in it from Splatoon.
Right.
That's all we knew. We didn't know if it was going to be like a new iteration, because it's important to note. We didn't know what Ultimate was going to be because Smash Wii U and 3DS cut characters, cut stages, altered a lot of things, and so we didn't know what to expect out of a new entry, whether it was just going to be more or even more pared down and refined.
Right.
So when a new game was teased, we had no idea what to expect. But then come E3 several months later, we get the announcement that it's Ultimate. Everyone is here. They show Snake in the trailer, and everybody loses it. And at that same E3, we also got the Ridley reveal. That Ridley, the most infamously desired character probably in Smash history, was going to be in the game, in the base game. Not even like no conversation of like DLC or speculation yet.
Right.
This is going to be every character that's ever been in Smash, and also Ridley. But all that to say, as far as like all the wild speculation goes, there was like a barrel and some weird green and red like background detail in one of the interviews with Sakurai during E3. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
People went crazy and said that meant K. Rool was coming.
That's right.
And it was crazy speculation. There was no basis for it.
Shouldn't have made sense.
Not at all. No. But it eventually did, and people kept trying to do that. Like there would be random background stuff, just like in things like that, and people would be like, "That's a signal. That's a symbol that someone's coming."
Right.
It never really was, but I do think the biggest one that has since kind of been forgotten, but at least at the time, at least in my experience, the biggest internet-wide conspiracy at that point was the Grinch leak.
Oh yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with that one, and I was pretty bought into it.
What made it so convincing? Do you remember?
I do remember. I remember it very vividly. I remember where I was the day when I read that it broke. The morning that it broke, I was on my break at work.
Oh my gosh.
I was, even at that time, I was like kind of scouring 4chan pretty frequently too.
Yeah.
I'm reluctant to admit. But that's like where things break the quickest,
right,
and conversation moves the fastest. And that morning, the Grinch leak broke, and it really, really, really felt authentic at the time, because the moment that it broke, what happened was the story, the official quote unquote. I remember the initial thread.
Oh,
it was someone's Snapchat. It was a Snapchat story that got screenshotted, and this the part is I don't know where the fakeness starts. I don't know which part got fabricated, where the fabrication starts, what part is authentic or not. But the story as it is someone posted a Snapchat story, a person that designs promo displays for like gaming conventions, movie posters, like someone that works at like Sony or something. They were showing a poster for the upcoming Grinch movie. That was like the main frame of the photo, but in the back you could see a render of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate mural.
Sure. With all the characters
With
on
all
it.
the characters, yeah. When Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was announced, there's like this big banner artwork that shows every single character in the roster, original artwork of each of them, just kind of like on the battlefield stage in various poses.
All side by side, kind of ready to go to war.
Yeah, kind of like we've seen in most Smash games, like every character in the game like kind of side by side facing a direction. And there was that banner in the background of this Snapchat photo of the Grinch. There was a render, what looked like a render of that banner, pretty blurry, but you could tell what it was. And it had characters in the banner that had not been revealed yet, including Banjo-Kazooie, Shadow the Hedgehog. People thought they saw Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. The Chorus Kids from Rhythm Heaven.
Who
else?
I remember now.
A few others that... Isaac from
Golden Sun.
From Golden Sun, right? When you look at the screenshot and you blow it up, you can really see it. And the evidence, the real solid evidence was that the Grinch render could not be found anywhere else on the internet. That specific artwork of the Grinch promo thing was not released yet.
It was right.
And so it was convincing.
Sure.
It was a good story. It made sense.
It was exciting.
It was right there that morning. And again, I don't know if maybe there was never a Snapchat story.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, someone photoshopped their own Grinch picture and their own weird, like they somehow managed to Photoshop their own Smash banner.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. But it was convincing. Extremely convincing. And then you had, I forget his name, but there's like a leaker who has made a lot of predictions for Smash 4 and stuff too, who was generally kind of on the mark. You couldn't tell where his sources were, but like he was fairly correct most of the time.
Sure.
And he was like, no, Grinch leak is fake. Incineroar is going to be in. And people were like, no, that would be lame as hell.
Uh-huh.
There's no way that Incineroar, boring, another firefighting starter from like a different generation of Pokemon is going to make it into the Smash game. That would be boring and lame. This is exciting, so we're going to latch onto this. All I have to say, fast forward, there was one more trailer in like November before the game launched that revealed Ken and Incineroar, and it broke my heart. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping for the best. Yeah, the hype to the game was real. All that to say. And I remember distinctly, just to cap it off, that reveal trailer for Ken and Incineroar. I'm pretty sure, because the Grinch leak was internet-wide. People were like harassing Nintendo and Sakurai. I'm pretty sure, you know, like when they introduce the character and it's like, Incineroar! Smashes in!
Oh, right.
And they like, I'm pretty sure that frame was on the screen for like an extra like second or two.
Really?
Just to like let it sink in.
Rub in.
It felt palpable. I don't know if it was just me, but it felt like that was on purpose.
They were...
If nothing else, maybe just because it was the last character revealed.
Asked for it.
No, that's the thing. Incineroar, I mean, in hindsight, I like Incineroar a lot. He's cool. He's a great character. I'm glad he's in. But yeah, I mean, as far as getting hype for the game goes, it was a underwhelming pick.
Yeah.
And that was the last character they revealed before the launch of the game, which is like not a hype builder.
Absolutely.
They'd already kind of like blown it early with Ridley, the Belmonts, and K. Rool. Highs and lows. A lot of hype for this game.
So
more than maybe any other Smash up to this point, like possibly.
Well, I have a great through line here.
Okay.
Because the hype never died. You
Correct.
have your Switch right there.
This is true.
Pull it out.
Here we go.
How many hours do you have in this game?
Many, many, many. I have 1,045 hours in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Any questions?
Yeah, lots of questions. So, just frame of reference, I consider myself a big Super Smash Bros. Fan and played the heck out of it when it first came out. I haven't touched it as much, but I have
I wouldn't
200 or 300 hours. Is what is really the frame of reference that I was trying to give.
Sure. Yeah, and
you have continued to play this game.
Yes, and I just want to even the playing field. It's not like growing up. Like you played it a lot, yes, but we played it together. It's not like I have any specific, I don't know, inclination towards the game historically before this point.
Well, before this point, yeah,
that's what I mean. I'm just saying we're on like an equal playing field historically, but this one hit me harder.
Well, and yeah, so how many, and so we've talked about Everybody's Here plus 2 fighter packs, and that brought us up to 74 characters?
80 some. 87, 89 maybe?
89. And what sucks is you have gotten to the point, I'm the older brother.
Correct.
I
as I recall,
Yeah, I have 2 years on Connor, and historically, I beat him at most video games, but things have changed over the last handful of years, and Smash, I cannot win anymore. And I promise there's a point to all this. We're getting there. But Connor always picks random. He doesn't have a character that he has characters that are his favorite, but if he's playing with me or online that I've seen, whatever, he just picks random and uses whatever character and beats me. Or he's not invincible either. I've witnessed him lose before, but
it's possible.
He's very good.
There are cracks in my armor.
Yes.
There are. It's possible.
Well, you accomplished something.
Yes.
You beat the game, if there is such a thing to be accomplished.
I would like to say so. I mean, there are things you can do to... I don't have, 99 of every item in the game or anything. I haven't maxed everything out, but I have collected all the spirits. Mm-hmm. I have completed classic mode with everybody. I've done pretty much all the single player stuff. But yes, there's a higher tier here that we are yet to reach. There is a higher plane of winning that is at hand here. And it's no secret. I mean, we've mentioned this before. Mm-hmm. I've talked about Elite Smash, and I don't know, have I ever specifically verbalized on this podcast that my goal was to get everybody there, or that I was almost there by the end of the year?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think I would recall that being recorded.
Okay, it was always kind of there. I wanted to do it by the end of last year. That was kind of my year-long goal, and I didn't quite make that, but I did do it. I got every character to Elite Smash,
which is insane. He has ranked up all 80-something of these characters enough to enter, the ranked mode. There's casual play, and then once you prove that you are good enough, once you reach this certain global score, they put you in what is called Elite Smash, and if you lose enough times in the Elite Smash, they'll kick you back out, and you have to get back in. Mm. And so, it really is a higher field of play that... and this is where it gets embarrassing. I've gotten my main character up into Elite twice, I think, and a couple matches later I'm kicked back down. Mm. And that's, I'm sure, for a handful of reasons, but you have managed to get them all there.
I want to condition this and say that it was tough and it was difficult and it was genuinely challenging and genuinely very frustrating and genuinely very unfair. But I don't think it's super impressive. The online system is broken. It's broken. And not as in it's not imbalanced necessarily, but it's just the infrastructure is just illogical and it doesn't make sense. You can kind of cheese your way into Elite Smash. There are ways to make it easier, kind of. You're still kind of rolling the dice, but you
play certain game types, play with certain kinds of people.
It can be less impressive than it sounds. For me, I tried to do it as authentically as possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, getting my first character to Elite was a marathon in itself. And then from there, I mean, I don't know, I just kept grinding for it. Mm-hmm. And I do think I recall mentioning on this podcast at one point, they did alter it a little bit. So the way it works, the way the Elite status works, like you said, it's per character. Of the 80-some characters, you can play your favorite. My main character, as it were, is Samus. So each character has their own GSP value, which stands for Global Smash Power. It's just a weird term for your rank, sort of. Mm-hmm. And it's in the millions. It starts at a default of 8 million. And if you win a match, it gets bumped up to 9 million something.
8.5 million.
Yeah. It's really arbitrary. It's really, really hard to figure out how it works. Uh-huh. It's really, it doesn't make sense. What I could tell was it knows when you haven't played a character yet. At least in this most current iteration, what I feel like I've mentioned before is that they changed the way it worked, in that they made it easier to get those values up.
Oh, interesting.
Or made the entry number you need, whatever threshold you need to reach to get to Elite Smash, whether that's 10 million something, easier to get to. Or they lowered it or something.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure they changed it at some point to make it easier. But at least for the past while, what I've understood is that when you start playing a character online, the more you win when you start, the easier it is to get to Elite Smash. I don't remember this exactly, but I'm pretty sure I played like Duck Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I suck with Duck Hunt. I hate Duck Hunt. But if you start at the base level 8 million, whatever, and you win 2 matches, it'll bump you up to 10 million, whatever.
Yeah.
Straight up, and you'll get to Elite Smash and done. Over with that character. Don't have to touch him again.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Wario,
Mm-hmm.
I like Wario, but I really suck with Wario, and I can, like, one-on-ones especially, like, people just dance around, and I'm not good at strategizing, or at least I wasn't, and so I'll lose a bunch of matches, and I'll keep getting bumped all the way back down to, like, 3 million, which did happen, and I had to climb all the way back up. But the more you lose, or the more you play, the smaller the increases get.
Right.
So when I got bumped down all the way down to like 3 million, one win would be like a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
And so I had to win like, I don't know, 8 or 9 matches in a row to even get back to like 8 million or so.
Sure.
And it's weird and arbitrary, and it doesn't make sense.
Frustrating.
Very frustrating. Just from that like purely infrastructural level, it is frustrating, like having to just like grind and get this number up just to get to this mode that already doesn't make sense. So that's how that works. I do want to illustrate why this whole elite status thing is bogus anyway. Because the online service for Smash has also kind of notoriously been pretty subpar.
Sure.
Brawl's online netcode was garbage, like infamously. But Smash for Wii U did it in an interesting way because it, from the get-go, separated casual play from competitive play.
Right.
It had 2 online modes that you could just choose. You could choose for fun.
For glory.
Or for glory. And for fun had items, it was all the stages, it was like you could choose between 4-player free-for-all or like team battles. And then for glory was one-on-one Final Destination. Like at that's all it was. And there was no ranking or anything. It was just for fun. I mean, for glory, there was nothing to work your way up. There was no point system, no ranking or anything. It was you were playing because it was fun to play, and
competitively.
Yeah, exactly. It was engaging, and that's how I played. And I understand the incentive to like work towards something to get like a reward for playing, but the elite status in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate just doesn't make much sense because it's not like it doesn't change anything. It's mostly one-on-ones and like team battles when you get up to the elite status, but like you still have just the same amount of chance of winning or losing as like even some of the lower levels.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so I wish this like more competitive incentive was just kind of placed to the side, optional.
Right.
Instead of having to like grind your way up all the way up to it. I don't know. It is very silly and arbitrary, all of it. All that to say, it has revealed to me the true abyss of darkness that exists in the hearts of humans.
Oh no. I mean, I know the Smash fan base is like notoriously gross and toxic, and like we're part of it, so like tongue in cheek a little bit, but like,
and it is, but I mean this. I think it's
they're also just known to be like the deepest of the nerds, like the most difficult to please,
unsavory of nerd types.
Yes.
It's definitely a stereotype, and maybe there's some truth there, but I think I really just like am experiencing what people experience when they play online games normally, and I just don't like play that much competitive online stuff other than Smash, and I'm just like just experiencing what people experience all the time. Toxic behavior online. I don't know, League of Legends, Call of Duty, whatever your poison is. I feel like it's kind of unavoidable.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure that is in place for this online system rewards poor play, unfair play,
unsportsmanship.
Yes, unsportsmanlike conduct. It doesn't necessarily reward it, but it does not punish it, and it in fact also punishes the other player.
Right. I'm thinking of disconnections. Is that at all where you're heading?
That is pretty much the impetus of it.
So it's not teabagging. It's not, you can't even taunt online, which is...
But that's the dumb thing is, like, you can tell where they, like, kind of cared or kind of tried. Because, yeah, you can't use the character's taunts online. But you can use, like, these preset messages, and you can teabag. Like, instead of taunting, people just teabag.
Yeah. Which
isn't...
gets me.
It's worse.
Oh, my goodness. It triggers me so bad.
It's not better.
I know it shouldn't, but it gets me.
I am right there with you. I think it's silly. And then, like, and people's names can be whatever they want too, so you'll see like Trump or like whatever controversial thing, COVID-19, abortion spelled with zeros or something, just like kids being edgy, and you're just like, I want to kick your butt anyway. And then you lose to them, and then you're winning, and then they disconnect because they're a kid, and then you're just like, well. And so the disconnect issue is that, okay, let's say I'm playing a one-on-one online, and for whatever reason, doesn't matter, my opponent disconnects. What happens is there's a huge lag spike. There's about 5 to 10 seconds where the match freezes, and there's a loading thing at the bottom of the screen, and then the match continues. I mean, quote unquote, you don't know if someone really disconnected.
Interesting.
When you've played for 1,000 hours, you can tell in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You can tell when they're about to disconnect even, from their behavior. What really happens is when someone disconnects, the game locks up and tries to figure out what to do, and it to carry on that match, it just makes that opponent a computer player.
Okay.
So the match continues, and you can still win or lose, but it's a computer player. And so what happens when the other person disconnects, when the match is over, because they're not playing anymore, no one's score, no one's GSP is affected. Right. Even if I win, I don't get any. But if I lose, I also don't lose any. Sure. Because it's not a real match, quote unquote, because I'm playing against a computer, somebody disconnected. And again, it doesn't outright tell you if anyone disconnected. Yeah. It just lets the match go on.
You learn the signs.
Yeah, you don't know, essentially, until the match is over, when you don't gain or lose any GSP. And you can't leave a match. All you can do is like turn your console off or go to the home menu and close the game. That's how you disconnect. What happens if I do that is I come back to the game and it says a little warning pops up when you try to log on online, and it says you disconnected in your battle. Don't do that. If you do it too much, we will suspend you from play for a little bit, which means like you can't play for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it stacks. Right. But what happens is that it takes my GSP for that character down.
Really?
Yes. In like a pretty significant portion. Like a few matches worth.
Oh.
And that's something that people don't understand. What people don't understand that are playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Online is when to read if someone disconnects, what that means for the players involved in the match, and the person that disconnects or rage quits does not understand that is lowering their GSP and suspending everybody else's GSP. And essentially, I mean, I don't know, you're playing for fun. Yeah, you want to finish the match sometimes because it's a fun match and you're playing a game for fun. Yeah. But when you're grinding for GSP because you're trying to get every 87 characters all the way up to 10 million from 3 million, and you're winning because you're good, and someone disconnects because they're not having fun anymore, or you have a 2-stock lead on them, and they think that they're getting the better of you, but it's better for them if they just finish it out and lose, because they're losing less GSP than they would if they disconnected, and I'm not getting anything because it's, And when you're playing team matches or multi-man matches, people don't know the sign when someone disconnects because they don't know what that lag spike is. It just happens. And so when I see that, I'm like, well, whatever, and I'll self-destruct. I'll fall off on purpose. You just try to end
the match?
Sometimes, depending. I mean, if it's just like...
Sure.
It doesn't, because it doesn't matter. Unless it's like fun, and unless I can tell like the others are like into it. Yeah. But then there's also kind of like a mystery of like, which one of y'all is the disconnector? Who did it? Because you can tell in players' behavior when they're a computer or not. You can tell in the way they play. You can tell when with 1,000 hours of experience, of course. You can tell when a player is a computer or not. And it's pretty impressive, I have to say, depending on the level, like the GSP level, I guess, because the computers can be really good or they can be really bad. Like I will applaud whatever technical programming ability is present that's like adapts the skill level to the computer. You can tell behavior wise, but like if somebody is like pretty good, but they disconnect, the computer will still be pretty good.
That's cool.
And vice versa. But yeah, when you're playing with more than 2 people, 3, 4, it essentially, I mean, again, it's fun, whatever, you're playing Smash, it's a party game. But if you're hunting for GSP, it just becomes a colossal waste of time.
Yeah.
And even if you self-destruct, you still have to wait for the other people to figure it out or be like, well, and self-destruct or finish out the match.
Yeah.
And, oh my goodness.
Just not fun.
It stops being fun. You can set your preferred match settings, right?
Items on, items off, select a stage, random stage,
right.
stage hazards.
So all that is great. Customization is awesome. You should be able to line into matches that you want, the kind of matches that you want to play.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. That is not how it works.
No.
That is not how it is set up. What happens is all the players are in the lobby, and it chooses one of those settings from random.
One player's preferences.
Yes.
Are selected as the default match.
Per match, randomly, I'll say. It's not like for that lobby, it's like it's one of those. It's like each match that's queued up is just like one random person's settings. So I play with the settings off because it shakes it up. I don't like doing just one-on-ones because I think there's a higher probability of my butt getting kicked. And 4-player, free-for-alls are just not always fun. So I like to shake it up. So I don't have my preferences on. So it gets randomly assigned, or it randomly assigns one setting from the 3 other people that I'm with, or 2 other people, or whatever. And the worst possible setting, the most colossal waste of time, is, and it's common.
Really?
7 minutes... stamina match, 4 players, 300 HP.
It's bad?
Oh, it's horrible. 7 minutes is a long time.
7 minutes is a very long time. I did cringe when you said that.
That's the longest time you can set.
Sure. How long does it take to
300 HP is the maximum HP setting.
Okay. I'm trying to think like what I think of as normal. Maybe 150 or something?
It's the setting. I think the options are 150 and 300. 150 is like generally the amount of time it takes to take like a stock in a normal match.
Right.
150. But it's stamina. It's not like the momentum of a normal match where you're knocking each other out and like, will this be the hit that like gets them off the screen? It's just jabbing and jabbing and using the same moves and jabbing and forever. and there's no, even if there's a stock advantage, because there can easily be a stock advantage because some characters have bad recovery and you'll lose a stock from falling off.
Yep.
Which happens a lot.
Sure.
So there will be a clear stock advantage. And even if that were the case, you can't wait for the timeout because it's 7 minutes.
Right.
That's so long. It's longer than it sounds even. It's an eternity. This is where this is very important. If I am in a 4-player free-for-all, 7-minute, 300 HP stock or stamina thing, and I lose first, I would rather disconnect than sit through that.
That is fair enough.
That's where that comes in. It's like if I'm in it and it's like people set those settings because it makes it feel epic. It makes it feel like a big, long, epic battle, and that's like what it feels like. Because I remember when I was a kid, I would set the time limit to infinity because I wanted it to be like a true test of like whoever loses first loses. Exactly. And that's what that feels like. People set 7 minutes so that the match itself can last as long as it should. But it shouldn't. It should not last that long. And so I don't fault anybody for disconnecting in a match like that. But that happens. And say I'm not the person that disconnects. Say somebody loses first and then they disconnect and I'm like, well, screw it. And I SD. I still have to watch Johnny and Jimmy bash at each other for 7 minutes on my screen until the match is over.
Yeah.
Or I get penalized
Mm-hmm.
If I say, I don't want to watch this, I want to play the game again.
Right.
If I disconnect, I get
silly.
punished.
Uh-huh.
And that's absurd. That is what I sat through. That is what I did for 1,045 hours with every single character. That is what I decided to do with my year and with my free time.
You did it!
For days on end.
Who was the most difficult to get up there? You said you suck with Duck Hunt.
I've definitely thought about this. Wario was someone that I tried and then I just dropped or I just bombed all the way down my score, and then I was like, can't pick this character up again. I'm not going to come back to this. And then I eventually had to, and honestly working my way up was not as hard somehow, or didn't take as much time.
And this question, I do think it technically implies which character you're worst with, right?
No, because the system works against you actively. Did you hear the 30-minute rant I just made?
You're right.
I mean, honestly, half of all of this was just to accomplish the silly goal, get my little medal, get them all to elite, just to say I did.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it earnestly was to give each character a fair shake, and when you lose a lot, you figure out what you're doing wrong, and you figure out what the tricks are to performing well with them, and getting good with them. You know, it's the harder you fall, the harder you have to work to pick yourself back up. Even though the system is broken and not doing you any favors, there are plenty of times. I won't say equal amount of times, but still plenty of earnest times where it's a good one-on-one, and you're figuring out how to outplay other people with a specific character with specific tools,
and that's
at
cool.
Your disposal. That's
rewarding. That's feels good.
I love Super Smash Bros. I love playing Super Smash Bros. And that's when the game is working at its best. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, Snake sucked. Diddy Kong sucked.
Diddy Kong sucks, man.
Olimar sucked. Mega Man took a long time. Bad with Mega Man. Maybe I didn't have any fun. All these characters.
So Samus was a breeze to get up there. Who else are you?
I don't know.
Who are your other mains? Samus,
Incineroar, Meta Knight. Meta Knight was a long time ago. Meta Knight was closer to when the game released. But I remember sitting for hours and hours trying to make that happen. Even though I consider myself pretty good with him. I don't know. I expected to experience PTSD more often scrolling down this list of all the characters.
Yeah.
But fewer memories are resurfacing than I expected, which is honestly probably for the best. That I block all the bad times out. Chrom took a long time.
I was going to say, are you any good with the swordsman? Because they don't, they're not the same, but they feel similar, and or how do you fare with Fire Emblem?
I like Roy and Chrom. I think they feel good to use. I'm not good enough with Marth. I'm not fast enough. I don't.
Right, you got to be ready to be quick with Marth.
Little Mac feels good to me because he's super fast, but you get up close. With Marth, you have to be fast and quick, but you have to have a certain amount of distance because he has the tip effect on his sword,
right,
which is his sweet spot. And Lucina feels weird because she doesn't have that sweet spot, and she's just has that speed and that distance, but no real explicit strategy or technique to employ there. But I do like Roy and Chrom. I'm bad with Link. Link has too many options.
Really?
Yeah, too many tools. The reset, the remote bombs. And
and
that's how most people play him, and kind of how you should.
Zone with the bomb.
Yeah, and is just spam your projectiles, and it's not spamming, it's zoning. Same for Belmonts.
Yeah.
Oh, I play Terry. I like Terry a lot. Ken was really hard. I like Terry a lot, but there's something about Ryu and Ken that feel really weird to play to me that I can't completely grasp.
Why don't you like Greninja?
He's lame. Because he's dumb.
He's my main, boy.
He's weird.
He's cool.
He is cool, but he's weird. I don't like his jump. It's one of the higher jumps in the game, but it has a weird delay.
Yeah, a little bounce to it.
Yeah, it felt weird to me. It's not, and timing that with his forward air, the slash is one of his better moves.
Right.
It's really hard. It was not it's good when it works, but it's like very hard to like technically employ a lot of the time.
Right.
With all that conditioning of like the online system out of the way, I do want to say like yes, I can beat you all the time. Yes, all my characters are to elite status, and I have learned and mastered all the characters, on paper. And but I'm still at that place where like I can beat all my friends with random. I do play random. That is correct. It's still good practice. I like playing all the characters. I have my mains, but I like playing with everybody. It's a fun game. But it's still, I'm still at that point where when I step my toe into a remotely competitive ring, I can still get my butt handed to me, and it's a weird place to be, knowing the game front to back in a lot of ways. But like, I don't know, still a long way to go in some ways.
I do think, for better or worse, it's a kind of practice that you don't have / aren't able to have. Like, you've got to play offline with people all the time. Like,
yeah.
That are better than you, too.
Right, to get really good. Which is, and that's something that's like, hard to orchestrate.
Exactly. Unless you are part of the core Smash Bros. Tournament scene, which I follow some local groups like that. I'm in them.
And we've done a few.
Yeah, but it's hard to like really integrate yourself, I guess.
Yeah, it's easier when you're at home playing online anonymously than like going out and like, I don't know, doing it in person. It just takes a lot of time and energy. Not from any sort of like, I don't know, holier than thou or better than thou standpoint, but I just feel like I don't have the time for it, which is ironic, all things considered. But to like take it very seriously, yes, you do have to kind of like invest yourself one level up that I don't feel like I really have like the time or energy for. I am content being a casual pro.
Yeah, there you go.
As it were, at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And that is almost all I have to say on the matter, I guess.
That seemed like a really good like release, though. I don't know. That seemed like a good your frustrations that have been building.
Well, I have been saving. Part of earnestly, I know it's been a while since we've been on the show, but a big part of it. It's been a huge time sink, obviously, and a big part of the motivation was to like be able to talk about it on the show. To say that I got there and to have a reason to talk about Super Smash Bros. Is like we could do it for some reason, or we could do it because I passed a milestone,
right?
And it's time to put a nail in the coffin.
Well, to pry that nail back up a little bit, I guess maybe just to kind of close out the show, I think. What do you think is next for Super Smash Brothers?
I don't know. That's something.
It's a bizarre kind of scary thought. Just by principle of it being Ultimate, they brought everybody together. It is just the most complete package that you can think of. It's like, what do you add more? And obviously more characters, more stages, or whatever. But like, how do you make it better?
With every entry, there's always been room to improve or to expand. But it's also always been like, how can this get any bigger or better? And Lord knows that this one is a licensing and balancing nightmare.
Yeah.
To all the different properties from all the different companies and just balance, making sure that 87 characters are properly balanced across all stages.
They all stand a chance against each other.
Yeah. And that everybody can have, and maintaining that line between party game and fighting game.
Right.
That the fact that people made this party game into a competitive fighting game is wild. And the fact that development-wise they've managed to toe that line for so long and managed to please all parties involved is incredible, and is a huge testament to just how much fine-tuning goes into every aspect of the game. And has, even for the past 3 years, all the new characters they've introduced and all the patches and stuff they've released, the balancing stuff. And it's hard to imagine. I know I just said that it feels this way with each entry, but it's hard to imagine it getting even bigger,
right?
While still maintaining any sort of credibility as far as like being a proper balanced fighting game or fun for all party game.
Sure.
And that being said, Masahiro Sakurai, the director for the game and the series so far, is stepping out of Ultimate.
Right.
Some people have theorized I think with false hope that like there's still going to be content drops, just not directed by Sakurai, because it's still making money.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And if Nintendo wants it, and if Nintendo wants to like license more stuff for it, then like maybe they'll make it happen. But as far as Sakurai's direction is concerned, he's stepping away. He has commented, and you can kind of see that like, I mean, working on this game especially, let alone the whole series, has kind of like ground him down to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's plenty of interviews with him expressing those feelings.
Just exhausted.
Yeah,
but he also comes off as like, it seems like he doesn't want to do anything else. Kind of, he likes playing video games a lot, and maybe he could direct a different kind of game, like another Kid Icarus or something. Would be cool.
Yeah,
give him a break from Smash at least. But I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't think anything more expansive is possible.
I agree.
I think we'll get a port to whatever's next for Nintendo of Ultimate, maybe, to keep the span going. And maybe that's when we'll see more content drop for it.
A few more characters
for Ultimate,
or something.
Ultimate X.
Yeah.
But
so that's interesting, because the theories are, like, yes, we will never see Sora again. We will never see lots of these bizarre... Steve from Minecraft, like, goodbye.
All in the same game.
It was fun.
Sans, Undertale, and Cuphead.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, and so a complete reworking of the series, is what I see people theorizing,
Sure.
And I'm trying to just picture a Super Smash Bros. That feels more like a Tekken or something, like, you know what I mean?
I imagine it more as like an arena fighter, kind of like, have you played any anime game from the past, like, decade?
Yeah,
I mean, like the Naruto Ninja Storm games, or
Pokken
the My
Tournament,
Hero...
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't think I don't want that after Ultimate, but I don't think they can do anything a whole lot better than what they've done in the current format. I don't know.
It feels, more than ever, they can either make a fighting game or make a party game. They could make it one or the other, more so.
Yeah.
But to toe the line that they have anymore would be really pushing it. It feels unaccomplishable.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Or it would take somebody with a very clear vision to top it.
But Sakurai's the only guy that can.
I know. He is the man with the vision, but...
I don't know. Time will tell. The scary thing is, with the pattern of releases between Super Smash Bros. Games historically, we might know sooner than we think.
That's uncomfortable.
Isn't that scary?
Mm-hmm. All right, and I guess final question. Are you still playing it?
I'm taking a big break. I like Sakurai, need to take a step away from the franchise, maybe for a little bit.
Fair enough. Well deserved for both of you.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of it comes from fear of, like, if I hop online and I play a character and I lose, then I'm going to get out of Elite with that character. I'm going to be like, God dang it. And have to work my way back up. But, yeah, I do. Whenever friends want to play, and sometimes I'll pick it up online.
Sure.
But yeah, I feel like it's in a good resting place for the time being until I have a better reason to pick it up. Also, Sora's cool. Sora's a good character. We never did an episode on the release, but he's great.
Sora
good fun.
Deserved an episode, but we were busy and whatnot.
I definitely thought it was going to be the Chosen Undead from Dark Souls for a hefty second there.
Really, actually?
Do you remember the trailer? Sora's reveal trailer? Oh, the little flame that was sitting right there? Okay. Are you kidding me?
That's
in the darkness?
That's so true.
Are you... Sora's cool, too. Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
All right, guys.
What do you have to say? Do you like Super Smash Ultimate?
I love Super Smash Ultimate. I just suck at it.
Cool.
Good
talk.
Yeah, I just... in all seriousness, I hold this game up as... and I feel like I deserve crap for it, but one of the best games of all time. I just think it is such a masterpiece of creativity and representation, and
it really is a masterpiece.
It's just it deserves to be appreciated for all that it contains. I'm tired of jacking off to Smash Ultimate, but
tell me about it.
But yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I do think it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of game that I don't know the next time I'll see something to its scale.
Definitely.
So,
for sure.
Well, thank you for sticking with us through our personal accounts of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I had a good time.
I as well. Thanks for being patient. And I'm sorry we're a little late on the anniversary of Smash, and also I didn't make it before the end of the year, but I tried. I was close. I made it. I finished the Elite thing in January.
Nice.
Still counts.
It still counts. Well, all right, guys. If you are not following us on the podcast platform that you're listening to us on right now, please hit subscribe. You should rate us as well. Drop us some stars or whatever they're doing over there.
Ching.
And find us on Instagram at Nintengems Podcast. If you want to follow us there, we post some great gaming content. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening. My name is Braydon.
And I am Connor.
And this has been Nintengems. We will see you next time.
Love you.